Hello and welcome to Amethyst Style Crafting. My name is Jane Allmark and I'm a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And today we're making a very simple, easy little treat that you can either put in a box or you can just hang from the tree. Doesn't take very many supplies, very, very easy, but the focal point is the lovely Curvy dies and Curvy stamp set, or quite curvy stamp set with these beautiful leaves. It's only just come out and it works perfectly on this little treat because it goes all the way round and fits just nicely and adds just a little bit of something. You could put a Christmas sentiment on there if you wanted to. I've left it as it is because I think it just works. So this was my prototype. So we're using the classic Christmas that we've been using throughout for my Handmade Christmas, because I wanted to demonstrate that you can use one pack of paper and make lots and lots of different projects with it, so you don't have to have a huge amount of supplies. So a sheet of 6 by 6, and we need a trimmer of some sort, and you can get, turn my trim around the right way, you can get 3 out of one piece, because all you're going to do is you're going to cut it at 2 inches. So you'd get, if you cut it at 2, 4 and 4 inches, you can get 3 from one sheet. I'm only going to make one today because you don't need me to see making any more than one. So literally we are just going to take a 2-inch piece off, and that's what we need. Then we're just going to take our scoreboard. So if we put our scoreboard in, and it's a very simple, you can fold it if you want, but it's easier to actually score it. So if we look at half of 6 inches is 3, and we want to take just 1/4 of an inch on either side. So it's going to come at 2 3/4 inches, and it's going to come at 3 1/4 inches, which just gives us a little 1/2 inch strip. So if you're ever wanting to do, if you want to do ones bigger or something like that, or even smaller, just make sure that you take your halfway mark and then mark evenly either side, and then you know that each piece is going to be exactly the same size. So we then just need to take this little piece and we're just going to fold it, and we're going to fold it along those score lines, and then we're just going to give it a burnish. And that really is it. It's nothing complicated at all. Then what we need to do is we need to take the intersection, so where it joins together, and then we just need to take our hole punch. Says me racing to try and get my hole punch. And whatever hole punch you want to use, I use a crocodile, which I've had a long time. So literally we're just going to make a tiny little hole in the center, and that's just to put some ribbon in. So we can take that down like that, and we've got our little hole in. Okay, then we need to take our chocolate. And for this one, I am going to, I've just taken these tiny little ones that you get in these, you know, tins and boxes at this time of year. You can get all sorts of ones, and they just fit perfectly in something like this. It's only a little something, so you don't need to have anything that is, that's too big. But all we need to do is to just give it a little bit of either a glue dot, or you can just use a little bit of the stamp and seal on it, If I can get enough to put it on there. Just a little bit like that. Is that coming out? Come on, there we go. And then all we need to do is, where we've got this piece in on here, is to just pop it in and take it up to where the top part is. Make sure you've just got your little piece that if it folds in, you might need to just tuck it down a bit. Let me just tuck it a little bit down on itself so that it's not, or as I say, you can fold it in a little bit. I think if I just tuck it down onto the bottom bit, it will go quite nicely, and then make sure that we've got it to the top, and then you can just sort of squish it down on there. So we just need to tie this with something, and we could tie it with some ribbon, or we can tie it with a little bit of twine. Now I've got, and I know that this is a different colour, but I don't think it will shout too much because it's only a little tiny piece to go through. I've got some of this mint macaron, which we've got at the moment, so I'm just going to just take a little bit of this and just cut it through. You can use twine, you can use really whatever you want. This is just a little bit that I've got because, again, it's using up scraps and things that you have, and then we can put it through on here. Now I normally do a fold, but this is quite a little hole, so I'm just going to, and this ribbon might not be very good actually because I think it's going to fray a bit much, but we'll see if we can just poke it through. Sometimes ribbons poke through nice and easily, and sometimes they don't, and I think this might be one that's not going to. No, it's not going to go. It's too fat, so we need to find something that's not quite so fat. I'm actually going to use, I think I'm going to use some twine, so bear with me a second while I get some twine out. I've got some green twine which I've had for a little while. I think it was from last year, but we do various different twines in there, so you know that twine will go through the hole. If you want to make the hole bigger, you can do, and you can put ribbon through, but because it's quite tiny, I think this will work all right. So let's have a little go and see on here. So we're just going to take this up, put our ribbon through, and again, these are, sometimes you just want to do something very quickly and simply and not spend a lot of time doing it, and these are quite good because literally you're just folding a piece of paper, but you can make it as I said, with all of these things, you can make them as fancy as you want or as simple as you want. And this one is quite a simple one, but the quite curvy and the curvy dies just make it really rather nice. Okay, so that's your hanging. Now you could just decorate it with whatever you wanted on there really, but we are going to put across on here the lovely bow. Now all I've done is I've coloured it in, and you can colour it in with whatever you want. Now it has a curve running this way and it has a curve running this way. We want the curve running upwards because that's the way that it will then go round and stick both sides. And again, I'm just using some of the Stamp and Seal, so I'm just going to take some down on here. So this is the plus. We have got the just the Stamp and Seal. The plus just gives you just a little bit more strength on there. So we want this to be curving upwards, and I'm just going to literally put it straight down on the front first of all. Okay, So you take it down on the front. Then you can do your wrapping. So I tend to wrap it from one side and take it round, and then wrap it from the other side and take it round, and you'll find that it will join at the back. So then if you just sort of press it down to make sure that your glue has stuck, and then you can just gently press those sides in if you want more of a sort of a square look on it. So, and there you have a rather sweet little treat which holds the chocolate inside. As I say, pop them on the tree, put them in. If you wanted to just put a staple in the top and just have them as flat treats, you could. But as I say, to decorate a little tree maybe at the front door, I tend to do quite a lot of things with chocolates because I have, under normal circumstances, quite a lot of family and grandchildren that come round, and they love to have, you know, just take a little chocolate of some sort, and it's always nice if it's decorated. So a very simple, very easy idea, but I think quite pretty. So thank you so much. And again, I'd just like to thank everybody for their lovely comments and support on this series. It's really been great, and it spurred me on to carry on this series. So do come back and see me tomorrow for the next one. And as always, stay safe and stay well and be kind. Bye-bye.